Hello, hello. Welcome back to Horrific Horror Review. I'm Jim King,
I'm Eric Bonifield.
and today we're going to be doing B-sides, B-movies that are awesome.
B-sides. Yeah, I like the word. I always like the word B-sides.
Yeah, me too. I usually liked the songs that were on the float,
This is the cooler shit.
right?
It's not the radio ready bullshit.
Exactly.
Deep cuts.
All right. So I'm going to start it off with my favorite that I've been harping to you about forever that you still haven't watched.
I have not.
Rubber. The Killer Tire.
Okay.
This movie is unique and different and out of the box, which makes me love it. It's literally a fucking spare tire. It doesn't even have a rim.
And it is good, huh?
And it's good.
Yeah.
It's got some good gore. Obviously, it doesn't have to speak.
And it's gore? There's gore.
There is gore.
Okay, so explain
gore.
how the tire murders people.
The tire gets angry.
Okay.
Like, it rolls where it wants to go.
Okay.
It steers itself.
What's the set? Is it the desert?
It's in the desert,
Okay.
but it ends up going to a motel.
Okay.
A middle of the desert motel.
Okay.
So, but yeah, mostly through the desert. It stands up and it starts to shake. And the sound goes with it, and it's like a wobbling.
Okay.
Like the rubber's getting more flexible.
Okay.
And it just
like a warbling rubber sound, like
yes, totally.
Okay.
And then whatever it's focusing on explodes.
Okay.
It does it to a rabbit. It does it to a crow. It does it to a lady.
And when these people burst, is it pretty gory?
Very much so.
Like bloody, like bags of blood.
Yeah, even the animals look real. And I'm not an advocate for animal violence at all. I love my dogs and shit. I'm not a hunter. But at the same time, it was very realistic. Like, it looked like they exploded a live rabbit.
Okay.
Like, for real.
Okay.
It's got, like, commentary, and the behind the scenes is all these people that they brought out at like a half-mile distance and gave them binoculars, and they're watching all this happen as if it's like a movie, and you get the impression they're getting paid, and they're trying to like stick it out, and eventually I came to the conclusion maybe they didn't want to pay them or something, and they poison a bunch of them. Like, the people that don't eat are the ones that survive still. And
what? I just got really confused.
Okay.
Who are all these fucking people?
I don't know where the people came from. Like, it starts out with this cop. Like, a car pulls up.
Start from the beginning.
A car pulls up out of nowhere at the start of the movie, and it knocks down all these chairs down this dirt road for no reason. And then the cop gets out of the trunk of the cop car. Like, a different cop was driving.
Okay.
This dude gets out and he goes on this rant about nothing. About movies are about nothing. They don't have to be about something. There's all these great movies that literally were about nothing when you break them down.
Okay.
And so all of a sudden there's all these people, and this cop's got like an assistant, and he hands out all these binoculars and stuff, and there's like these annoying girls, a guy and his kid, a dude in a wheelchair. There's like a whole group of these people that look like they've been paid to...
A weird slice of society.
Completely. Like, you'd grab them random at the mall,
okay.
You know, and it had like every age bracket and income bracket.
Okay.
And so they're watching this whole thing go down, and they're narrating it for you. They're like, you know, there's one lady, it's like, look at that, the tire stood straight up, you know? And it's... Yeah, and then it goes basically on a killing spree out of anger.
And is it killing these people?
No. They're watching this happen. The tire gets angry because a truck goes by him too fast and like spins him around. So he catches up with that fucker and blows him up. And then later on, like, he's attracted to this girl, so he rolls into her hotel room and watches her take a shower.
Okay.
And ends up killing her in a swimming pool.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Does she explode in the swimming pool?
No.
Ah, fuck.
Unfortunately, not.
Oh, wow.
And there's like the asshole guy who runs the motel, and he treats his stepson like shit. And at one point, the tire blows up this crow, and the kid picks up the pieces and puts it on stepdad's pizza and gives it to him.
I remember you telling me about that part.
It's pretty raunchy.
When you were trying to sell me on the movie.
It wasn't trying to sell you
part.
That.
Where a crow explodes.
Literally
and this kid
explodes.
feeds it to his dad on pizza.
He does.
But he's a douche, so it's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave the rest to you to watch because there's spins in it and
Fucking
stuff, and the assistant
bizarre.
is really weird. Like he has this weird thing going on in the motel when he's poisoning this. He has to kill this live turkey and poison it and feed it to these people.
Oh,
so
fuck,
it's
man.
really fucking weird.
There is a lot going on.
There's a lot. I mean, it couldn't just be a tire that gets angry and vibrates. There has to be backstory.
And it's a B movie.
It is a shitty B movie.
Yeah.
Like, most people don't know about it. The budget has to be close to nothing.
Right.
They had some great shots with this tire, though. Like, they had, like, a GoPro on a stick next to a dude with another stick rolling the tire like they did back when they were kids. It was pretty good. I liked it. So that's my number one. That's my B movie. Awesome. You got to see it. Rubber, the Killer Tire.
Is that the subtitle?
No, that's my subtitle.
Oh, fuck, because it should
Rubber.
be.
I know, right?
Hyphen, the Killer Tire.
Right.
I am like fucking, like, my mind is like scrambled right now.
It was
I
too
can't
much.
even fucking think straight. I like B movies, man. I like them. I like them better than A movies. Air quotes, A movies.
Right.
I like B movies, man. I like shittier movies, Like that's what the average moviegoer would call them. They're not shittier to me, though.
Me either. I like the term independent or low budget or
just not well done sometimes.
Sometimes no.
Poorly executed, but there's something about it.
Sometimes just poorly advertised even. But.
A lot of times, yeah, there are some movies that just fall into this hole where what was this movie? And that used to happen a lot,
Right.
I think that happens. I don't know, the movie industry is so bizarre and different now. And in constant flux, like it's different every 6 months. Like,
what old movie are we going to rip off now?
Yeah.
What's your first?
I got a whole bunch, man. And I think what I should talk about, what I need to talk about, I don't know why, is Frankenstein fucking Unbound. Frankenstein Unbound. Frankenstein Unbound was one of those movies that I found. I went to the record store. And I went to the used record store, and I'll just go to the horror section, and I'll find a couple of covers that I'm like, I'll watch this, I'll watch that.
Right.
If it's $7, fuck it, I'll buy it. A lot of times, I went out, Very rarely do I pick a movie, and I'm disappointed. I think the last time that happened was Slime City.
Right.
For $20, like this 2-disc Slime City. I was like, I've never heard of this shit. And the cover was fucking rad, and I was like, all right, let's go. And wow, what a waste of $20 for a stupid fucking movie. But anyway, Frankenstein Unbound. I grabbed, I love Frankenstein, and I grab it. And you were just talking about this. On the cover of Frankenstein Unbound is an eyeball that has been stitched together.
Different colors. I fucking love that picture.
Not that he didn't like to go so far as to take an eyeball out of another person and then put it in another. That wasn't enough.
It had to be divided into fourths.
Take an eyeball
colors.
and stitch that together even. And it was crazy. And then I flip it over, and on the back cover is John Hurt. Alien.
Right.
And God, so many other fucking things, The War Doctor. I know you don't know who, but he was totally the War Doctor, dude. And on the back cover is John Hurt with an axe standing in front of a hangman's gallows. It's like screaming. And I was like, all right, I'm down. And I think Raul Julia was also on the back cover, like standing next to like a candelabra. Like all lit up. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I gotta see what Frankenstein Unbound is. Totally not what I thought. Like, okay, man, this fucking movie is... Have you ever seen it?
No, I haven't. No, I haven't seen it.
Well, okay.
So don't ruin it.
I won't ruin this. I won't ruin Frankenstein
Unbound. How about
Unbound.
to sell me on it?
I'll so fucking sell you on this shit.
All right.
So, John Hurt, Raul fucking Julia.
Okay.
Bridget Fonda plays Mary Shelley.
Okay.
Raul Julia plays Dr. Frankenstein.
Okay.
All right. Jason Patric,
Okay.
Lost Boys, plays Lord Byron.
Okay.
Fucking wild, man.
Wild.
How much talent?
Weird.
Tons of talent in this movie.
And I saw the picture that I asked you if I was looking at the right thing.
Did you?
Makeup,
Yeah.
I'm digging it.
Tons of talent in this flick.
It looks like he has ears on his cheeks. It's crazy.
Really, just not a lot of money thrown. I think it was
Right.
I don't know, $11 million,
Okay.
which is a lot of money, but for a movie,
that's not even an advertising budget. Like you said.
so right.
Right.
So, John Hurt plays a scientist in the year 2031.
Oh,
Right.
here we go. Future. Friend.
Yep, he's created a weapon. The
Okay.
president wants him to create a weapon
Okay.
that is going to supersede anything nuclear. It will eliminate a
Nuclear
city.
threat.
Yeah,
Oh.
it'll eliminate a city without any kind of fallout.
Okay.
Right. Somehow his weapon is causing disturbances in the time space continuum. And there are what are called time slips or time rips,
Okay.
like happening in the sky. There'll just be the slit in the sky of a kind of like a cloud with a cut in it into like
Nice.
a
Okay.
space,
Yes.
swirling galaxies and shit.
Okay.
And they don't know where these things are going. I don't even know why they call them time slips because they don't even know what the fuck they are yet.
It just rips.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's working on his weapon. He finishes up the day. He's going home. He's got this wild talks to me kit car, like Knight Rider car.
Okay.
2031, man.
Right. Yeah. Of course.
And
Does it fly?
No,
Still
but it
not
looks
flying
like it
cars.
should.
Oh,
It looks like it flies. It looks kind of like the spinner from
Okay.
Blade Runner, but not. Anyway, he goes home. One of these time rips opens up, and a medieval knight comes riding out of it and throws a spear at him, and the spear kind of stops and gets sucked back into the hole.
Is it Sean Connery?
No.
Are there midgets?
No.
Is this Time Bandits?
No, this is not Time Bandits,
Okay.
which is another great movie.
It is.
He gets sucked into the hole with the medieval knight. Why he ends up in early 1800s Austria when he just got sucked in with a knight from clear medieval time. Whatever. We're not going to
Right.
fuck with the science of it.
At least he didn't end up on another planet with no oxygen, right?
This scientist ends up in Austria in the early 1800s while Frankenstein is doing his thing.
Okay.
Building the monster. He not only is it him, but his car came with him. All
course
right,
it did.
his car came with him.
Beautiful.
He sees this little town. He goes down to this town just to figure out where he's at and what's going on. It is. It's Viseria. he meets Frankenstein. He also meets Mary Shelley,
Odd.
who they exist in the same world.
Right.
He's not just a figment of her imagination in this movie. He is a real guy, and she's using him as inspiration to write the story.
Okay.
Bridget Fonda plays Mary Shelley,
Nice.
and she ends up fucking John Hurt.
Okay.
She's like, Lord Byron and Percy are fucking all about free love, and so am I. And just like gets naked and jumps on John Hurt, and it's like, whoa, Mary Shelley is a freak. It was crazy. And
Barbarella.
yeah, Bridget Fonda, not James.
Sorry, Bridget Fonda.
She's super young, way too young to be with John Hurt.
Right.
It was creepy.
That
It
is
was like, wow.
Okay.
Anyways, long story short, the Frankenstein's monster, is really bizarre. He has extra thumbs and shit.
Because why wouldn't you if you could build them?
You're building the perfect guy, I guess. Right. Thumbs are handy.
Won't drop anything anymore.
And he's
handy.
Right? I didn't even mean to do that. And then John Hurt and the monster and Frankenstein end up getting pulled back into the future.
Okay.
But things are different.
Right.
It's kind of like the far future.
Okay.
And it's a future where the world is Arctic. And much like the end of Frankenstein,
Right.
where it takes place at
On
the end.
Antarctica.
Exactly.
Right.
It was interesting. They
Another twist.
they follow the story
Right.
of Frankenstein,
Gotcha.
from pretty well, just in a really weird way.
Those interpretations are fun.
It was definitely a different interpretation of Frankenstein.
Okay.
Really bizarre. To this, the end is, I can't even describe it, so I won't. Just watch it.
Okay.
It's worth watching. Raul
Okay.
Julia is amazing as Dr. Frankenstein.
Okay.
I mean, he's worth watching the movie
itself.
alone. Yeah.
Okay.
But I really like Frankenstein Unbound.
All right.
One of my favorite. It's my favorite Frankenstein movie.
Okay.
That's how serious I am.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. For
All
sure.
right.
What's your next one?
I had a next one until
Hmm.
I start listening to you, and it reminds me of other shit.
Oh.
So it reminded me of two that are just super fun to me. I'm going to
Okay.
go with my next one is Death Race 2000.
Oh fuck you! Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
Death Race
So
2000.
bad.
So good. Frankenstein.
Frankenstein, right? The driver.
David Carradine.
Yes. Playing such a great role.
So set this movie up real quick.
Shit. We've got Sylvester Stallone. He's great as Machine Gun Joe.
It's the
But
future.
It's the future, right? We've got a race where people drive.
Televised.
Yeah. It's a huge sport. It's like the Olympics or whatever.
Mhm.
It's a
It
big
is. It's
deal.
like it's a huge
And
deal.
They're racing for Mr. President,
Uh-huh.
and
Who's in his private like bungalow in
Right.
Beijing right now or
Yeah,
something?
yeah.
Weird.
And there's a really annoying announcer.
Oh, he's great. He's
not
a Roger
that-
Corman
I
staple.
love that guy. All right. That guy's great. But
Yeah.
I meant the news lady, really annoying news lady. My closest and dearest friend, that lady.
Frankenstein.
But yeah, can't stand her. But anyway, they're driving and they're getting points by hitting people.
Mm-hmm.
Babies obviously worth the most.
Were they?
Yeah,
Is that how it was
absolutely.
going?
Yeah, that's how they duped the last of their drivers.
Were old people worth less?
They were, but they were. They'd push them out in droves. That's
I
why
remember that. They were
pushed them all
driving
out
past the
on roads.
geriatric ward of the hospital, and they just lined these old people up in front of the road. And Frankenstein ended up running over all the doctors, like,
Yep.
fuck you!
He went on the sidewalk and ran all over the nurses and doctors. Exactly.
It was great. Yeah.
That was a great movie. It had cool cars
Mm-hmm.
that were, they were kit cars because it was a Corman movie. Even the coolest one was still a Volkswagen, but still awesome. Played in fast forward, lots of extra shit,
Mm-hmm.
machine guns and swords and cool rims.
Weird shit and weapons attached to the vehicles.
Yes,
Definitely. A lot of like Roger Corman actors that you see.
Totally.
in all the-
It
was
had
in
the
this
group.
movie.
Yeah, the girls that get topless every time.
Right.
Same dudes that
Right.
the nasty dude. Sylvester Stallone
And
plays
Stallone's
an awesome
in it. He
part in
plays
that.
Machine Gun Joe.
Yeah, and he's so angry that he's not getting the respect he deserves.
He wants Frankenstein's juice.
Absolutely, and his girl, and they get in a great fight too.
They do.
They get in a good scrap
They
down
do.
in the garage.
And David Carradine was really cool as the driver, Frankenstein.
Cool outfit. I loved the
I did too.
maimed face, and
Yeah.
then he pulled the silicone off, and
Super cool.
and he had the hand grenade in the palm of his hand. I mean,
That's right.
it was Roger Corman awesomeness. But I mean,
Yeah, it was. It
for the
really
gore
was.
and the theme,
Yeah.
and it's B movie magic.
It's
for me.
so B-movie.
Like they made the new ones with the transporter
Fuck
axle or whatever,
you.
but it's not the same thing. It's not. And they did just make a newer one,
Did
it's
they?
Death Race 2050 or some shit, and it's B quality shit, but it's not the same thing.
No. It's
So that's my number 2 because I thought of it after the fact.
Yeah, great
But it had to
fucking
be up
great
there.
B movie.
Love
If you're
that.
making a list of great B movies, that movie does have to be on.
Yes,
I agree.
Yes.
What you said a couple came up.
Yeah, another one that I thought of because you were talking about the rip in time and the
Mm-hmm.
waves or whatever.
Mhm.
It reminded me of a movie. It goes hand in hand, two of them, but it reminded me of a movie called From Beyond,
Ooh, what's this?
and it's
Do I know
it's
this?
the same guy that was in The Reanimator and Bride of the Reanimator.
The actor that played.
Yeah,
Okay,
same actors, and it's from.
He was in Frighteners and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
From Beyond is about this crazy kooky dude that he has those forks, and if you tune them at the right way and they
It's
make
an
the
H.P.
right
Lovecraft
frequency,
movie.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Then you see the flying eels.
Yep.
And if you see them, they see you.
Yep.
And, you know.
I always love that story.
I love all those stories. Like
Yeah.
they're so tentacly and.
We'll have to do an episode on H.P. Lovecraft one day. Because he's
so that popped in my head when you were talking about it, but that wasn't on my list.
Gotcha. Well, it's funny you brought up Time Bandits. Would I call Time Bandits a B movie? I don't know. I think at the time it was.
I'm gonna say no.
It was approaching blockbuster territory, wasn't it?
It was heavily advertised. I saw it at the theater with my parents.
Sean Connery's in it.
Yeah, I saw it in the theater with my parents. So that means
Did you really?
I really did. Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm an old man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we went and saw.
Fuck me.
That band of midget, and you know it's funny because I was too young, in my mind. I didn't appreciate it until the rental VHSs.
Really?
10 years later.
Wow, I saw Time. I
saw it as a little kid.
As a little kid, I was 3 or 4, and I remember loving it. Just love this. Okay, Time Bandit. Let's talk about Time Bandit.
Have you seen Titus? Do you know Titus?
I have seen Titus. Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of the same. The kid starting out and then the dude busted in. But
Sean
Connery was awesome. Time Bandit.
Time Bandit is. It's interesting. Let's talk about it.
All right.
Why the fuck not? Time Bandits is about a group of little people. Right. Back in the day, we called them midgets, and they called themselves that. But these were some of the greatest little people actors at the time.
It's like the cast of Willow, right?
Some of them were in Willow. The main guy was not, though. And I forget his name. He was a really cool actor. He was definitely the Dinklage of his time. I should know his fucking name. But it's this group of these little people who steal a map of the universe from God. And spend the whole movie trying to keep away from him.
Outrun him and rob at the same time.
And they end up, befriending this little kid who gets caught up in their adventure. And when they say they have a map of the universe, they literally mean of the universe, other realities, other Earths, other times. Really interesting. One of my favorite scenes was when they wind up on a boat, like a pirate ship or something, and a giant ends up just walking out of the water underneath the ship, and ends up with it it teeters on his head like a hat. Mm-hmm. And it's just so bizarre. And at one point, they're like, we got to get off this fucking giant's head. Like, Jesus. They pull the boards out of the bottom of the boat and inject, booze or something into his head. And, he gets all...
Right. Nap time.
Takes the fucking boat head off. Crash. Bizarre movie.
I really liked the scene. The one I remember from a kid was when they were... It was like a completely black world when it was like God's
with
thing.
The cages, the hanging cages,
square hanging cages. Yeah,
that was in hell.
It was like a purgatory
because it's not only God that's chasing after them for this map; it's also evil. They don't call him the devil; they call him. I think he's evil. I think they call him evil, and he's basically the devil, and he wants the map.
Why wouldn't he?
as well? And it's it. Time Bandits is a great fucking movie.
Awesome movie.
I haven't thought of Time Bandits in years until you said that. I was like, oh shit, that's right.
Just reminded me of it.
Yeah. But, so, Frank Cinnabon, Time Bandits. what else do we got? Let me see here.
I'm going to go with one that fell through the cracks, in my opinion. A lot of diehards know about it, but it didn't get the big budget. It didn't get the movie theater released where I lived anyway. But everybody knows him. Everybody loves him. Bruce Campbell in Bubba Hotep. It's one of the strongest performances I have ever seen. He plays Elvis fucking spot on.
Really well.
Yeah, spot on.
All right. I'll say this about fucking.
And I got to give a shout out to my friend Trace because he made me watch this. He says
I had a friend who made me watch it as well.
How he sold it was me is he sucks the souls. This hillbilly mummy sucks the souls out of people's asses. Is how he tried.
Is that how he sold it to you?
Kind of,
okay.
yeah. So, and Bruce Campbell is Elvis. He says.
I had a friend who we watched a lot of fucking movies together. And he was like, "You've got to see it, Bubba Hotep. You've got to see it." I took one look at the cover, and I was like, "Man, I'm just not feeling it, man."
It took me forever to find it.
For years,
it was just underground. Really,
it was on TV one day, and I was like, "All right, fuck it, let's do it."
Got nothing else going.
It was amazing,
right?
It was. For one, I didn't know
shot really well.
I didn't know Ozzie Davis was the guy who played JFK.
Right. With a sandbag in his head.
I knew it was, he told me, he's like, Bruce Campbell plays Elvis and this black dude plays JFK. Right. And I was like, what?
Right.
He thinks he's JFK, and I was like, all right. Okay, I'm still not crazy interested. But it's...
And I had to just look at the derivative of the name. Bubba Hotep. I'm like, Hotep, that's mummy, obviously, Bubba,
right.
Like it's a hillbilly,
and Hotep,
and it
like
is.
A mummy.
The motherfucker's wearing cowboy boots and shit.
That part of the movie, did they ever explain why he had cowboy gear on?
He was coming from Texas when he got dropped off of that thing or something. It was
right, but how did a mummy
get hillbilly?
Yeah,
they did explain it. I'm almost positive they do.
Okay,
it's something about how
I don't
it got transported and then fell into this river, next to
remember all that,
home. Yeah.
But I do not remember how they explain why he has cowboy boots with spurs and a cowboy hat and shit. Like I do not remember that explanation.
Egyptian trash on the bathroom walls. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it was. What was it? Cleopatra does the nasty.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the bugs, the crawling bugs, are nasty.
Yeah, Bubba Hotep is Bruce Campbell, who is everyone horror geek's favorite person, plays Elvis. Actually, Elvis, the real Elvis.
Yeah, he's traded with this Sebastian Haff dude, an
Elvis
impersonator because he wanted out of it. Burned up his contract that made it to where he could go back. Ends up in a fucking nursing home trying to convince all these people he really is Elvis. Has a growth on his pecker.
Right.
The fucking nurse has to massage.
So gross.
Shit, yeah. And then
gross, dude.
There's these critters. He hears a scuttling. And then it turns into just madness with this mummy and how they're going to go to battle with it.
Yeah.
These two old fucks.
And Ozzie Davis
what a great place to suck souls. I mean, if you
an
need
old
to suck
person's
souls, yeah, they're dying. They're ready to go, and no one cares if they're passing away.
Easy prey.
Very easy.
And they're expecting them
It's like
to
living
die.
across the street from like the back door of a buffet.
Yeah. They can't taste great, I'm sure. But it's
he sucks it out of their ass.
Any
anyway,
meal
so
is
I don't
probably
know how good it would be anyway.
good. Yeah, I know. I'm not an ass sucker myself. Not an ass player.
The first time that JFK, Mr. President, is down on the ground and that thing is trying to suck the soul out of my ass.
Okay, it's a buddy movie.
Totally a buddy movie.
And it's like, I can't help it. I was moved by this movie. I was moved by Bubba fucking Hotep, dude.
Me too.
Like, go fucking figure. Like, I did not expect that to happen.
Jumped into like my top
But
10
when
favorite
Elvis
movie.
looks down at JFK and he's like, I got your back, Mr. President. It was just like, oh my god, these two old men are just so fucking cool.
And he's got the fucking outfit and the glasses and the moves.
They were old and they could barely move, but they were gonna fight this fucking mummy, man. Yeah. They were gonna do it.
He went out to battle with a walker.
And in a wheelchair.
And a motorized
and it was just so cool. Yeah, I agree. Bubba Hotep is a really...
So yeah, that was my next on my list. What do you got?
You know what movie I love? It's one of my go-to movies. Like, I got the day off work, or I'm taking the day off work because I'm sick or some shit, and I just want to like put on a movie and fucking conk out halfway through it.
Exactly.
My Bloody Valentine, 1980 or 81.
Okay.
Canadian horror movie. The director's cut is a super bloody, awesome fucking mess. The theatrical cut is super... the kills are really weak.
Okay.
The
I
Canadian,
think I saw the director's uncut one.
the
It's got
Canadian
lots of
Film Board
innards.
cut the shit out of this movie
Really?
so they could show it. They were really strict at the time.
Right.
But it's a total Canadian movie. All the cast is all Canadian, and you hear it. There's something about Canadian horror to me that I just
Really?
fucking love it, man. I love when I hear that accent.
What is this hullabaloo?
They were. It's about it's okay. The little town of Valentine Bluffs has a coal mine in it.
I love that mask. Like, I was sold on that cover, the gas
gas
mask, the miner mask with
Yeah.
the light and that pickaxe. Like, the VHS box cover,
Yeah.
it just grabbed the 12-year-old me like no other.
So, in this town, there's a coal mine. In it, 20 years ago, on Valentine's Day, there was a cave-in in the mine. And one guy survived because he ate the other miners and went stark raving fucking mad. And he got out, went into an insane asylum. A year later, the next Valentine's Day, he broke out and killed the two guys who were responsible for making sure the methane levels in the mine weren't too high.
Right.
And leaves a warning. If you fuckers ever have another fucking Valentine's Day dance again, I'm going to fucking come back and kill every fucking buddy.
Right.
And they don't for 20 years. They're like fucking Harry Warden.
Yep.
Harry Warden's the guy's name, the miner.
Yep.
And it's a slasher flick.
Harry Ward.
Harry Warden is...
Yeah, it takes a full generation for them to fuck it off and do it again.
His outfit, his killer costume is a miner's outfit with the gas
just
mask,
fucking overalls and the gas
the
mask
miner's
and the
helmet with the light.
That flashlight plays a big part of it.
It does. It blinds
you.
Yeah,
and then
he uses it on all of his victims.
and
They can't see what's coming at them.
Pickaxe coming.
It's
just a great weapon.
Here's what I really like about this movie. It's not about a group of beautiful teenagers with nothing but money. It's about a group of early 20s, just out of high school, blue collar.
Right.
They're working in a fucking mine. They just kind of party after work and go to work. And
Footloose kids.
It's just before they're getting married and having babies. It's that time.
Right.
They're not going to college.
Right.
These kids,
Let's
they're working hard. And this movie shows that. And it's very rarely that you get a slasher movie that isn't about kids,
right,
in some kind of school setting or camp setting.
It's always a privileged situation.
Yeah,
they're headed out for that weekend camp.
Yeah, this was kids in a shitty little town. And I connected to it because I'm from the south side of Chicago, and it's not, it's the factory part of town,
industrial.
And I just could relate to these people in this movie, and they're not super attractive either. They're not like beautiful Hollywood people.
Right.
These are regular Canadian folks,
Right.
It's a great kind of grassroots, homegrown B movie that they did a fucking amazing job with. Like, don't think that because this movie is a B movie that they didn't do a fucking This movie holds up against anything from Hollywood from the same time period. Anything.
Nice.
It's really good. My Bloody Valentine is one of my favorite horror movies. Period. That and Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Those two fucking movies, they fight for the #1 spot.
Really?
All the time.
Right.
All the time.
Back and forth, huh?
Yeah. What's your next one?
All right. My next one, it came as a big surprise to me, actually. Kind of came out of nowhere, and I hate to admit why I saw it. What initially got me to see it was it fell into just another Jason Mewes movie that I'd never seen. It's called Feast.
Okay.
It opens real strong for me.
Okay.
And I love
Was fucking Jason Mewes in that fucking movie?
Yes, he was. Got his face peeled off. He was a pool player.
Fucking shit.
He was playing against Balthasar Getty. And the brother...
I do remember Balthasar Getty.
The brother in the wheelchair bumps into Mewes and makes him lose the pool game, and he's got to pay up. And he's talking his shit, I'm an actor, I got a lot of money, you know. And he's playing himself, like he's playing Mewes.
Jason Mewes.
Yeah, and I love how at the start of the movie, each character is introduced by how long their longevity is.
Okay.
Like it says, this guy might make it.
Oh
10
yeah,
minutes into the
that
movie.
was fun.
This is our hero, and of course, none of it pans out. You know, none of the what you
Feast
think
is a movie that is a self-aware movie. It's aware of itself. It's a movie that breaks the fourth wall in some ways, for sure.
So many silly, weird parts to that, and
Yeah.
sexually deviant.
My favorite part of Feast was Clue Gulliver.
Okay.
I love Clue Gulliver.
Okay.
I know you love Return of the Living Dead just as much as I do. I love that fucking movie.
Right.
He's a Bert. He plays Bert in Return of the Living Dead. He plays Mark Patton's dad in Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2.
Yep.
The fucking exploding canary.
The bartender.
He plays the bartender.
Great.
I love Clue Gulliver. There's
He's
something
great
about
too.
him.
The shit talking.
Oh my! I hear he was really difficult on set. As well.
Oh, I'm sure.
I guess he just kept forgetting his lines and shit.
Really?
Getting mad at him.
Making him up as he goes.
The actor says, "God damn it!"
That's great.
And his son was directing, and he's just like, "Dad,
right? Of all the people, you need to fucking give
Dad,
it.
come on." Yeah.
That movie came out of nowhere for me. It was a surprise. It had unique monsters. They were super gross and funny, and the way people would really act. A lot of people just out to save themselves. It was a good time.
Did you watch the show?
Feast.
There was a T. You don't know where the Feast came from? Oh my god! My
it was-
voice just went up. I'm so excited.
I do a little bit. It was like a movie contest.
There
thing.
was a movie
I know where it
contest
came from.
show with fucking those two dudes, Ben and Matt.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck and Matt
Yeah.
Damon, and they had the show about
The-
sell us a movie,
Right.
And Feast was the horror movie season, and that's
I do know that's how.
that's
they
why I know
initially
Clue
got
Gulliver was losing his shit on these poor young actresses. It was amazing. I didn't watch the whole thing, but that's how I knew about Feast.
Nice. Okay. So we're gonna wrap up the first episode.
Yeah, you want to do it like that?
Yeah, because I've got like half a list left.
I've got a ton of shit too. I want to talk
So-
about Ice Pirates, man.
Ice
I'm
Pirates.
sorry.
Beautiful.
I just do.
So next time we'll come back, we're gonna talk Ice Pirates. I got Wolf Cop, I got Sharktopus, and I gotta talk Shin Godzilla too.
I gotta talk Critters Part 2, man.
Yes, critters.
God.
And maybe Ghoulies.
Oh, yeah. After Gremlins, dude, all these little, the
Critters.
Gremlins made this almost like a subgenre of horror movies that came out like around the same time. Like just little creatures, like multiples of them.
And sometimes they got bigger too.
Yeah.
It's like the Gate. Remember those little guys?
The Gate's on my list.
Is it on your list?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay,
All
so
right.
until
Thanks.
next time.
See you next week.